again, it's me. It's a horrible day today. Went out this morning to the shops and then had to come back and go out again to the post office, and it is horrible. It's cold, it's windy, it's rainy, and it is just disgusting. So I'm not going out again for the rest of the weekend. So why not make another video, because I would like to thank you for all the nice comments from the last video of the house tour. Nice to see that you're glad I'm back. Don't know how long it'll be for, but for now, as long as I've got houses to show you, then I will continue to make a few videos, at least until Christmas anyway, and then after Christmas we'll see where the land lies. So what we'll do is we'll look at two houses today. One big house that I really like building, and one of the smaller houses which I built right at the start of my house building experience, just to get an idea of how houses work and how they look as sort of a base house, really. Incidentally, all the houses that I've built don't have any custom content. They're all base game plus packs. So if you've got the packs, then obviously you'll be able to download them, and there's no fear of you having any gaps in the house because I've used CC and you haven't got it. There's no CC in these, so you're good to download. Right, let's have a look at some houses. Right, here we are back in Newcrest, and I'm a bit confused. I don't know whether this is normal, because obviously I don't build houses, so I wouldn't know this, but I've built all these houses in Newcrest and I've got people living in them. Does that happen all the time, or is it just me? Are they just so good that people want to move into them? You know, I've not heard of that before at all. Anyway, one of the houses that I was going to show you does actually now have somebody living in. So that's saved me sort of putting somebody in there so I can show you around the house. So we'll have a look at that one in a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you one of the smaller houses that I've built first. Right, so this is the house I was just talking about. And I think this is the first house I built. So it is a very basic house, but it was a good exercise for me to kind of get an idea of how to get the layout right, how to fit everything in. This is just a very basic 2-bedroom house. So as we go in, I've put these like marbly type stairs there, which I personally now don't like. So if I wanted to sort of go in and change it, I think I would probably change those stairs, but I didn't know how to do anything other than that, so that's why I just plonked those in. Right, so let's go in to the house itself. Let's just change that a little bit around. So we go through the door into a small living room. Now I don't really like the idea of the lounge area being straight in front of the living room, but again, it was just a case of trying to get everything fitted in, and also, you know, it is just a basic starter home, so you've got to start somewhere. Kitchen area, quite nice, and I remember the bin. I think everybody forgets to put a bin in the kitchen, and we know what problems that causes. Nice little table there. It is ideally just for like a 2-person or possibly 3-person house anyway, so we don't need much more than just like a little 2-seater there. Little kid's bedroom there with all the basics in there. Small bathroom, and I've used one of these like open showers. If I just pop that up, as you can see, it's just like oh, can you see that? Just on the door there. On the wall rather. It's not too bad. In fact, I've been using those sort of showers quite a lot in my builds, because I think it's quite sort of space, doesn't take up a lot of space, that's what I was trying to say. And then we've got the what we can call the parents' bedroom there, which is like very basic. Well, it's just a bed and wardrobe, isn't it, really? So not a lot going on in there, but like I said, it is just a starter home. I'm quite pleased with that, because, like I said, it was the first house I built, and I did sort of experiment by doing like a sort of a little porchway thing there, which is probably wrong, but if you wanted to go in and download it and sort of make your own changes, you're obviously more than welcome to. Sticky Doodah on the gallery. But for a first house, I don't think that's too bad. So this is the next house we're going to have a look at, a much bigger house. Now, I think this was the first. We've got a floating chimney there. it's not until you go back into your builds and you spot things like that. Right, well, let's ignore the floating chimney. But this was the first house I built with an upstairs. Again, I took it from like a floor plan that I got off the internet. I'm sorry about that chimney. Oh dear me, rookie error, I think. Yeah, I took it from plans that I found on the internet. And the house itself is pretty much how the plans were. We've got a nice little like raised conservatory there at the front of the house. Can you see that? There you go. And a nice little seating area here. Now I'm not quite sure if anybody can actually use that. I've not test played these, so I don't know if they actually work or not. So that area probably won't work in front of the conservatory doors there with the two seats. Probably won't work, but again, if you wanted to download it, you can adjust that. So a nice little conservatory there. Now, if we go into the house itself, we'll have a look what it's like inside. Now, as I said, we've got people living in there, which I'm not quite sure how or why that happened. But if we go through the front door, immediately to the left is this lounge and TV area. A nice big TV. Now I'm really quite pleased with the way the stairs turned out, because I was never very good on positioning stairs. But I've got this one to sort of curve around like that, and I put this little desk area underneath the stairs, which I think was quite a good idea. And here is a nice big kitchen. If I put the walls up, the kitchen actually goes all the way across there. So it's a nice big kitchen. I suppose for a 5-bedroom house, and you probably would need a big kitchen anyway. A nice little dining area just at the side there. I like that. I've always liked that. It's been one of my favourites. So if we now go through here, through the corridor, to the left we've got an office area. And here we've got, I don't know, I had an idea of them being twins, one girl, one boy. So that's why these two rooms are more or less identical, but obviously with different colour schemes. That, I don't know, was that lazy on my part? I really don't know. Probably. It's probably because I always like furnish the bedrooms last. That's my last thing to do. So whether it was just done just to get it finished, I don't know. But it's not too bad. And if we go through the back door, we've got this little play area for the kiddies. Oops, I'm just about to move the carpet. Sorry about that. Right, if we go upstairs now, we can see the layout there. So you go through an archway into a long corridor here. So here we have got an ensuite bedroom, if we can see there, with the bathroom just in there. I sort of got that pinpointed for sort of adults, parents if you like. If you go along the corridor, we have got this rather strange bedroom here, because if I put the walls up, it's actually got no windows. Now that was just stuck there as a kind of a sort of a guest room, if you like, or like an overnight room. So, you know, if somebody just wanted a bed for the night, they could go there. Next, there is a student's bedroom, which is just there. Nice red colour scheme. I liked experimenting with the colour schemes. Some of them did turn out good, some of them didn't, as we'll probably find out in some future builds. But that's a nice little bedroom there, and then here, pretty much the same, I think, is another student bedroom. Yeah, I think this was when I wasn't too sure of getting like too fancy with floor plans. So you'll basically come up the stairs and then you've got this corridor with doors on the side. But as you'll see in some of my later builds, and particularly if you remember the big 8-bedroom house I built, I kind of got the hang of that. But for quite an early build of mine, it was a challenge. I mean, this believe it or not. It took me ages. And to position the pillars there to make it look like, obviously it had to be held up by something. Took me a while to figure those out, but I think overall I am really quite pleased with that. Yep, not bad at all. So there was 2 more builds of mine. Not too bad. I like the starter home really, because it gave me an idea of how a starter home would lay out and how you would get all the necessaries in there without it being kind of obtrusive in front of the door or anything. And it didn't turn out too badly. I think, like I said in the video, if I could do it again, then I would make a few changes to it. But as a first build, it didn't look like a shoebox, and that's what I was kind of aiming for. And as for the second house, apart from the floating chimney, I don't know how that happened. I'm sure it was attached to the building when I built it, but there you go. That was a good challenge for me, because I only had the front of the house as like a guide, which is what I built to start off with. The rest of the house was basically off the top of my head. And it didn't turn out too bad. I think some of the later builds, just before the final build, which was the 8-bedroom house, I did sort of move away from looking at plans and trying to figure it out for myself, and it came out fine. I'm really pleased with some of the builds that I did, which we'll find out when we look at some of them in future videos. So for now, I'll wind up now. I hope you're all well. Getting ready for Christmas. I've sort of got my Christmas jumpers out early this year. So anyway, take care of yourself, stay safe, and I will see you very soon.